Take yourselves a look at that. Bladder is not very well at the minute. She's got some very serious issues going on. But in terms of the new Scape, what do you think? I think it looks mint. Brand new pump system, all that kind of stuff. She's under here. Look at that. Right, so what we are going to do is we're going to try and attempt to install this today. This is the JTech tail tidy for the MT10. Now, I'm going to try and do this without taking the original tail tidy off, which might be a bit of a task because of the videos that I've seen. It's a bit of a pain on the MT10. Now, basically with this tail tidy, we actually reuse the original stem off the MT10. There's the OEM one, and we're just replacing the bit that the plate hangs off. If we want to reuse the original indicators, we have to use these spacers here, which we're going to do. So hopefully I can do this without having to take the entirety of the tail tidy off, because I've seen Moto UK and a few other people install these, and they can be a bit of an arse. Not any problem with JTechs at all, it's just the nature of the stock tail tidy and the way that it's set up. I'm afraid it's one of those things. Now, Moto UK, my friend Nick, hello mate if you're watching, he did this a few years ago. Apparently there have been some upgrades to this since, because there were a few issues that Nick had. So we're going to go give it a go. Hopefully it's going to look nice. So hopefully it's going to be, you know, not too much of a pain of an install, and we're going to try and see if we can do this on the bike itself when it's on, rather than take the entirety of the thing off. So stick with us, I'll see you in a minute, and we'll go and try and put this on. This thing tends to turn itself off for no reason. So the actual tail tidy on this itself, the original one, it's not actually too bad, you know. I've left it on for a while because, to be honest with you, I've actually been too busy. Thankfully JTech did provide this to me, but as you can see, it's going to be a lot further back, and it's going to be a lot less of an issue. The reason why they do this and use the same stem mount for the rear is because of the key underneath. The keyhole, the key flap, makes it a bit of an arse to actually do a tail tidy for at a reasonable cost. And again, JTech are very, very reasonable with their cost, and I've used these across all my bikes for the past 5 years or so now. They've been fantastic. So right, we'll try and get this out, and we'll have a look to see how to get this off. So first of all, I am going to take the seat off. There we go, because we are going to need access to the cables here. We might need to take these off, hopefully not, but again, I'm trying to do this the easiest way possible. So the most obvious thing is to take these guys off and then take the reg plate off itself. Probably these look like a 4mm spanner Allen key, so we'll get one of those. Now this is actually the one from the Super Duke. This has been about 7-8 months of use, and it's held up beautifully. I assume these are 4mm, but I'm going to start undoing these. They are 4mm, and they are a bit epoxy metal. There we go. Now I am doing this on a week where I don't need the bike, because I don't want to cock this up and mess it up basically. So, well, at least we know they come out now. And essentially this is, I assume this is like a cowl for the top of everything, so this will lift off and show us the gubbins underneath it. And just start to undo this. Biddly biddly boo. Enthralling watching this, isn't it? Right, okay. And there we go, there's the reg plate off. My penis doesn't wiggle, it folds. Now, I'm not sure how this is going to work, but assuming, oh, this whole thing comes off here like this. Okay, so I assume I can take that apart from, yeah, this is making it difficult for myself really, because I'm going to have to do this all from the rear, but that's fine. So I'm not sure if you can see behind here very well, but there are a fair few screws and stuff keeping things in place. There's like a bracket inside. So there's a bracket here. It's held on by 4 screws, it looks like, and I assume that that's what's keeping this in place. As soon as I can take that off, I can then do with an extension on this actually. And there we go. So there's the bracket off. You can see underneath here there is a bracket. There is a sheath underneath that's keeping the wires in place. Now I'm going to turn this over, and I do remember these being a bit of a bitch if I remember rightly. And there's also some look like nuts there that are keeping this held on. The light. These are a bit of a bitch to get out if I remember rightly from my older bikes. So you just pull the tabs apart, push that up, and then you should be able to just pull the indicators out. Now remembering which side the indicators are, because we're going to have to unplug them to put them back into the new one, so they're going to be removed anyway. So it's a hard rubber basically. I'm just trying to push down and tuck it under, which is not working very well. Right, so it's just a case. It is just a case of just pulling it. I'm just giving it a good old fucking college tug now. Right, so okay, that one's out, and I'm going to do the same for this side. It is literally just a case of putting a flathead underneath and just pushing it out. Yeah, there we go. Fuck you, bitch. Right, so that's both of them out. Now I need to unplug them so I can just pull them out. Right, so I'm afraid it looks like we're going to have to take this rear fairing off to get to the bolts under here to take the bracket off. So that's the right one, that's the left one, and I'm going to just pull this off. I assume it just pulls off or slides off, or okay, it just pulls off. It does slide backwards actually, so just be careful of that. Fucking hell, they're made of cheese and also very fucking wow. Okay, or are these 7mm? Jesus Christ! So they were just slipping off with the 8, even though they felt like they were an 8. Oh, fucking hell, they're on tight. Oh. Just using this ratchet to actually loosen them up, because fucking hell. I have to undo these now as well, just to be able to get enough clearance to get these out, basically. And these seem to be an 8mm, like everything else. Could just get my socket, but whilst I've got this in my hand, I mean, I may as well. But hopefully it gives me enough clearance to get these out of the way. Let's see if I can undo these by hand now. Just push down on that tab and then pull out, and then hopefully now, if I have any luck, I can just pull that back like so. Just seeing if I can push this down. There we go. Oh, bent my finger but nail back. Oh. So with these guys, you push this tab down and push that way. So I'm going to pull this down. Okay, so the black one is the left hand side. So this guy here, the black one that you pulled out, that is the left hand side indicator. So this was all for nothing, because where those guys come down, blocked by the back of the sheath of this guy, goes up to the back of that, which you can't see because there's no light, and you have to take the whole entirety of the bracket off. So yeah, they are a 10mm. Okay. Oh, look at that. Thank God for running a fish tank, eh? I have to really bend this plastic back to get it off. It's a bit of an annoyance. There we go. Right, if that's in place. That is a pain in the arse, that is. Definitely not the easiest of installs I've ever had to do for a tail tidy. Right, if I can do that actually. But this is locked into place. It's a really, really silly design, so I'm going to have to undo, stay there, I'm going to have to undo this. Can't get a good angle on it. I can push the tab down, but I can't. There we go. Fucking hell. And then how the hell are you meant to get to that? Look at that. How the fuck are you meant to get to that socket? I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know how the fuck they expect you to get to that. That's really, really stupid. But these are locked in, these things, with these little clips. And without having to get underneath, push the clip out, I don't know how the fuck I'm meant to get a socket in there. Unless I just... Oh, come on. Not a clue. We'll have a go. Just have to manhandle it out of the way. Oh, right, okay. Hopefully I don't have to get back in here, because you should have to... Oh, there, we're on it, right. Let me props to KTM and props to Triumph. Right, okay, so all that's come off now. That is dirty. So you can push those little tabs in and then these pull out the other side. Same on the other side. Hopefully that means I can just take this plastic bit off. There we go. There we go. And then push that forward and then get to the wires. Pull out your indicators. Well, fuck me. This has been much of a faff. Didn't think it'd be this bad, but so whilst I'm here, you know, the bits that don't get picked up in detailing when you pay for stuff like this. Now I am keen and avid on detailing myself, so I'm just going to go over this, clean it up. I'm going to put some ACF corrosion inhibitor on here, the marine version. We're just going to go over it and give it a good old clean. Definitely worth it, and that bottle's lasted me a very long time, and I've been very, very frugal with it as well. So probably last year even longer. Give it a quick wipe down whilst we're here. Look at that, brand new. now that we've got these off, we can just pull these through. Again, we're going to give these a clean off with ACF whilst we're here. And again, with the light, we're just going to leave that like that. We don't need that anymore, so just throw that out. Again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with the detailing brush with the ACF 50 on it, and I am just going to clean, because you can see the stuff gunk starting to build up. I'm just going to go over everything, especially the metal bits. Again, this is just going to help to protect things in the future, and I like to look after my bikes, I do, so this doesn't really bother me doing this kind of stuff. I actually really enjoy it. Nice. And then underneath as well, whilst we're at it, because that's I'm not sure if you can see this, but that is filthy, and there's metal bits on it as well. So I will do this maybe every half a year. I will take the bike apart and I will give it a proper good once over, especially with some ACF and stuff, just to keep it on tip top shape. And that's why I was annoyed with the KTM, because I was doing all this. More than that, I was doing this almost every time I rode the thing, and it just was absolute shite. Anyway, right, so now I've got everything sort of ready. You have these two sort of ring spacer thingies. Basically what we're doing here is going over that, then over these, and they're going to fit into those grooves. You can see there, into these little channels. Try and put it over the bottom rungs, and then the top ones, you can kind of squeeze them in, using that little bit of a gap. And just push, and there you go. And then we're going to put this on this side. I'm assuming this is the right side, I think it was, if I remember rightly. So we're going to whack this through here, and then we're going to just put that grommet through. So you just put your indicators through, and then you see that there are little spaces there. Really good idea. And then you just put the original little bracket things back on, push them in, and there you go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plug this in back into the black socket and see if it is the right indicator. If I remember rightly, it was. Oh, you can see the flash, there's not as much resistance on it, so that is the left hand side, which is great. Right, and there we go. So we have both indicators installed. In fact, what we're going to do is we're going to install it to the bike first and then test which way around these go, because you don't want to get that wrong. So it was a little bit tricky. Yeah, I realised that it should be that way facing down, because I don't know, I just thought it goes on top like a lot of other ones do, but I'm a moron. I was very, very tired. So basically what I did is I flipped it around, and you can take this plastic piece off. You just push through there with a 4mm Allen key, and you take that off, route the wires through the bottom here, and then up this little channel. I have zip tied them just to keep them nice and even. And then, so this bit of plastic, you fit into a little hole and just literally just push it back in, and it just all fits into place. That's it. We are going to wire it up now. Hopefully it's not as much of a faff as yesterday, but we'll find out. We have got a little hole here. Bit of a nightmare yesterday, because for some reason the technicians or engineers or designers decided to stick this into place above the hole that you need the socket in. You saw yesterday I was trying to struggle to get that out. Now I tried to pull my sockets out, and the socket came. I couldn't get the socket out because it was trapped because of this. So, needless to say, a bit fucking annoying. And I had to take the entirety of the back end off. All the plastics, the light, underbelly, under tray, in order for me to be able to get to this. And in the end, I ended up breaking off one of the pins. And I did that on purpose because I can still locate it into there if I want to. There you go. I can still put it into there. So I can still take it out basically if I want to, just by pulling it, but it still clicks in. So I would recommend anyone do that. Whoever designed that, stupid design. Anyway, feed these wires up. Feed these up, and then obviously we're going to locate the holes in there. It's just that hole that's off, which is the... There we go. I'm going to put one of the nuts back on, just to keep it in place. Well, that should give you an idea as to what it's going to look like. Much cleaner, much nicer. With that wire out of the way now, again, like I said, I did snap off one of the barbs, because whoever designed, I don't know why they've done that. It's so stupid. Just going to do the opposite corner, just to give it even load. And so now we've got these 3 wires, and we're just going to locate them into their holes. That into that one, and then the white one into the white one, like so. I'm going to plug this guy back in, light. I'm just going to pop that down there for now, and then we do have the rear tail light, which does come with the kit, which I'm going to go find now. So we've got this guy, which is an extension for the obviously the brake light. And what we are going to do, just before we do anything major, so black on black, white on white, hopefully I've got them the right way around. Yep, like fuck for that. So I've got the left indicator being black, the right indicator being white. Now as you can see, this light isn't on at the bottom, which is what this guy is. So obviously we're going to check the brake light's working as well, which it is. I'm going to turn the bike off, and what we're going to do, plug this guy into here, like so. There is no way of actually knowing which one's which here, so what I am going to do is just put them into contact with each other and then turn the bike on. If that comes on, which it does, so if you can see that there with my hand, lucky guess, all you do now is you just push these in, push them together, and then the little sleeves here go over each other, and you should feel it click into place. There you go, you see it sort of just click into place there. What the fuck? Well, I've got blood all over my hand. What have I done now? You should just feel it pop into place. And pop, there we go, that's in. Then the sleeves should just go over, just to give you some waterproof protection there. And it's nice and bright as well. I have got a different reg plate coming, but for now we're going to put the old one back on. So now I know that this is right, I'm just going to bind this up with some lecky tape. I mean, I don't usually like using electrical tape. I think it's tacky. I think as soon as dirt gets in there or anything, it just gets a bit rancid. But just for now, it's better than now. Yeah, so it doesn't age very well, electrical tape. It starts to get very bitty and just horrible. That should do for now. And then we're going to put all this extra bolts back on, put it all back together, and we're done, pretty much. You don't want to over tighten these. There's no torque values on this at all anywhere, so right, and then we're just going to put this guy back into place, click that down. Hopefully that can just sort of nestle in around there somewhere. Oh yeah, there's a little bracket here actually, there's a little clip. Right, let's get that bracket back on then. Looks like we're clear for this wire. Boom. There we go. Health and safety is not prevalent here, so not the most, given my environment, not the best job on earth. What we are going to do is we're going to try and open that up a little bit. Also, please wear safety equipment. Right, there we go. That one's in. Same for the other side now. Now our freshly drilled reg plate. Leave that, and then the other side should line up. We've got a black one here because it's on black writing. We're just going to put that on there like that. Right, I'm just going to nip these up now. And that is us pretty much done. So there you go. The actual reg plate itself is fucking huge, which is why I've got another one coming. But just in terms of it looking better, nowhere near as prominent. It looks great. Now obviously you've got the stock indicators which have to be a certain length outside the bike, so if you want to get some smaller ones, fair. I actually think, the normal stock ones are great. They look fine. Obviously that thing's huge. All bikes these days look horrible because laws and shit, so there we go. So again, this is the old one, and obviously you can see how big and bulky that thing was, and it was stuck out a lot more. So that was about there, so it definitely stuck out a lot more. As tail sides go, standard from the factory, it's not as that bad, but still. Right, and there we have it. Now to me that looks 10 times better. The only thing it does is it accentuates the size of the indicators and the reg plate, which is a shame, but that looks so much better. Yeah, that looks 10 times better, that does. Beautiful. Well, there you go. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. I'll see you very, very soon, I'm sure. Until the next time, boys and girls. So I'm out. See you soon.